After rallying all the way to 68 cents and showing signs that we might push closer to a dollar, Cardano has cooled off here over the last month, leading many people not only in our community but across the crypto landscape asking the question, why is Cardano losing momentum? Why is it not rallying? Is this the end of Cardano? Well, I'm going to start off this video by telling you no. This is not the end of Cardano. Cardano is still going to be a major mover, not only in this bull market, but the future bull markets to come. But I do want to address the couple of reasons why we actually are seeing the lack of momentum in Cardano, why you should not be concerned, and what you should be looking for to know that Cardano is going to be okay, and what we're going to see in the future in terms of price action. Now, with that said, let's go ahead and jump on in. Let's talk about this first article right here. Now, this is one of the ones that kind of sparked this, but ultimately, I've had lots of people within our community on the live shows in the comments ask me, hey, Tim, what's going on with Cardano? You know, I said in a recent video, Cardano is one of my favorite altcoins. It's my favorite altcoin of them all because of everything it does from just the decentralized standpoint. But even I have to look at the price charts and look at things and say, hey, yeah, this has been underwhelming. But in reality, this is expected. This is an article written over here by Coinpedia. ADA price loses momentum. Cardano price might lose 20% by the coming week. Now, I'm not going to get into what the actual article says because it just talks about technical analysis and tries to say, oh, we could go to here, here's resistance, here's support, yada, yada, yada. I'm going to come back and do some TA later in the video, but I just want to show you guys if what it's saying is true, we could lose 20%. Just keep your eyes on what that would mean. 20% would be coming down into the golden pocket down here towards 40 or 39 cents, a level that we've actually labeled here on Cardano and talked very heavily about how this zone is probably the most likely zone for a bottom. There still is a decent chance for a lower level down towards 30, 33 actually to be sure. And that one is still has some good probability. That would actually be the full 60% pullback for Cardano. But I just want to start off by saying we have talked on this channel about a pullback down here into the golden pocket. Would not surprise me in the least. That, of course, would be from that 68-cent top, a 40% dip. That's actually really not that significant. That's the reason why this 35, 34 cents makes more sense down towards 50%. And if Cardano does what other altcoins do, which is traditionally more like 60%, now all of a sudden we are discussing potentially back below 30 cents altogether. So when you think about it like that, a move only down to 40 cents, 39 is really not that significant. But in this article, it does, again, capture the fear, the uncertainty, the doubt, the FUD of Cardano right now, and that is the momentum is slipping. We're still seeing other coins like AVAX or Solana make some moves that look kind of intriguing, but ultimately, Cardano is not. Another thing that people are looking at, and Charles Hoskinson actually addressed here, but there's been a recent thought, and I'm going to go into this, that Charles Hoskinson is looking to defend, but the prediction, Charles Hoskinson reacts to the prediction about Cardano dropping from the top 10. This was made by Eric Wall. I'm going to be honest, don't know Eric Wall. Don't know who he is. But I guess he has a list of predictions of things that will happen, and his number 8 is that Cardano will fall out of the top 10. Charles Hoskinson ultimately just says, well, we're waiting, kind of saying like, you know, people keep saying this, but we don't see it happening. I want the record to reflect, I actually the other day said I'm not going to be surprised if at some point during 2024, maybe early 2021, I wouldn't be surprised to see Cardano fall to the top 10. Not necessarily that I'm predicting it the way Eric Wall is, but it is something that I think is potentially possible. Let's just take a look at why that is. You know, we're not going to see it go over Bitcoin or Ethereum. I don't think BNB is going anywhere. I mean, honestly, the FUD that BNB has survived up to this point and stayed the number 3 altcoin, actually pretty remarkable when you think about it. Solana, of course, has been on a tear. There's one coin above Cardano right now that I'm like, all right, we could see XRP fall below Cardano. Maybe that is what helps keep Cardano in the top 10. But I don't think it's going to take out the stable coins. I think Tether and USDC are going to stay above it. And now you move into the question of, all right, well, we have to have some things drop, or some things that are below us go above. Number 1, AVAX. Well, that's one of the coins we were talking about that has some hotter momentum at the moment. So yeah, I could easily see AVAX flipping Cardano. In fact, we're not that far behind. Currently, we're sitting below 18 billion here in market cap for Cardano. We're getting close to 13 for AVAX. AVAX, of course, is another coin that I do believe institutions love. I'll talk more about that here in a couple of minutes. But I could see AVAX easily jumping Cardano. I don't think Dogecoin's going to do it. I don't think Tron's going to do it. I mean, maybe Dogecoin can, depending on what Elon does. But you come down here, there's a couple coins down here that I think could get very interesting. The number one coin, and this one, I almost dare to say this is a lock. It's going to surpass Cardano. Chainlink. I mean, again, I've predicted Chainlink by the end of 2025 could be the number 3 altcoin itself. So the fact that it's sitting down here at 12, it was 13 when we checked this last week, so it's already made a move up one spot. Chainlink is absolutely a candidate, along with Avalanche, to top Cardano. And if that were to happen, right there, that would put Cardano down to 10. Then you start to look at Polkadot. I don't think Polkadot's going to do it, but it's one to keep an eye on. Matic is one, a major altcoin that could absolutely flip Cardano because, again, institutional adoption. For now, as I start to scroll, there's not a lot else that I see jumping Cardano in this next couple of months. So ultimately, what I'm kind of saying is, guys, I think that Cardano, depending on what happens with XRP, is most likely going to fall to 10, at least temporarily. If not, if it stays below XRP, it will probably drop to 11. Not for a long time. Let me explain why. This kind of moves us into the series of, wait, why is the momentum that low? Why are we, not having massive rallies here in Cardano? Before I get there, though, my first response is, guys, it's not Cardano season right now. And I'm going to explain that on the charts here in a second. But you know what season it is? It's tax season. You guys need to be dealing with your taxes. You guys are probably getting those emails from your employers. You're probably getting the mail. If you are concerned because you actually do have some profit you have to report to the IRS this year in crypto, and you're not really sure what to do with your crypto taxes, that is where Ernest comes in with Decrypted.tax. He is the official tax sponsor of this channel, and he does mine and T-Shroom's taxes, does a phenomenal job. And here's the cool thing. When you sign up, you get 25% off. But even if you don't sign up, click on the link down below and get a free 60-minute consultation with him. He will answer any question you have. Even if you don't end up going with him, he's more than happy to help you guys because he is a tax professional, a tax lawyer who can help you make sure to protect yourself against the attacks of the IRS. Guys, go sign up with the link down below. Get that free 60-minute call and go ahead and just use Ernest. Honestly, his prices are better than almost anyone else you're ever going to find. And because he's a tax attorney, you can feel safe that even if something doesn't go exactly right, you have a defense that's never lost a case in the history of his practice. Go check out Ernest with Decrypted.tax. Let's talk about the reasons why Cardano is not really seeing the momentum happen. The first thing, before we even go to the charts here, let's talk about the first reason why Cardano is losing momentum. Guys, this bull market is not the bull market of decentralized cryptocurrency. That doesn't mean we're not going to see a rally in the future. My point is, in the past, that concept of a money that no one controls, that completely decentralized, that was the thought that made everyone go nuts. Well, who are the big players coming in right now? BlackRock, Fidelity, even JP Morgan is dabbling in the game of cryptocurrency. We see massive institutions coming in and seeing the blockchain technology beauty. What they don't need / want is the decentralized aspect. Well, that's going to be a massive deterrent to Cardano because that is what Cardano does better than almost any other altcoin out there. It has protected itself. The team of Charles Hoskinson and IOHK has made sure to protect the decentralization of Cardano, where we've seen other altcoins that were supposed to be decentralized kind of give in to the pressure. They've moved more centralized, and because of that, they look a lot more attractive to these institutions. What I got to tell you guys about this is not a reason to be concerned. And that's because, again, reason number 2, I kind of already hinted at it. It's not Cardano season. Let's actually go here and let's look at the past on Cardano. Let's go all the way back to 2019, similar situation. Now, this was still a good rally here for Cardano. But ultimately, let's look at what we saw happen back in 2019. We bottomed out in 2018 in December, all the way down towards 2 cents. We then rallied 317%. Now, that's good. But when you think about how fresh of a coin Cardano was at the time, when you think about comparing it to a massive coin like Bitcoin, and then Ethereum, who was still dominant at the time. We're going to look at those charts here in a second. The fact that we only rallied 317 on Cardano shows you it really wasn't that exciting of a rally. I'm going to come back to this and show you another thing about this chart that I think is significant, but let's just take a look here. Bitcoin. Let's take a look at what Bitcoin did back in 2019. Again, massively larger than Cardano. It had had a price experience going all the way back to 2009, and it rallied 341%. Cardano couldn't even outpace Bitcoin. Then you take a look at Ethereum. And again, not that Ethereum is massively older than Cardano, but it gained so much momentum when it first started. Ethereum rallied 350%. You start to take a look at some other coins that were around at the time. Even Matic, a new coin, it rallied 1,400%. You're going to see the likes of, let's see, what else was around at the time? Gotta jot down. I think if you were to look at, let's see, Litecoin. Litecoin, if you were to look at Litecoin's rally, it did 559%. There was other coins, Matic. I'm not even going to get into it. In fact, the only coin that I found that around the time was still somewhat of a big deal that did not perform better than Cardano was XRP. And of course, XRP had a really poopy little time period right here. In fact, if you were to go and look at it, it really, during that same time period, only rallied, I think, 50-something%. If my tool click, there we go, finally, it works for me. Yeah, okay, 86%, 87. So with the exception of XRP, which of course would go on to have a really bad year, almost every other altcoin outpaced Cardano back in 2019 during that pre-halving rally. But Cardano went on to do something that, again, most of these coins did not do. It went on after bottoming out where everyone else bottomed in December of 18. The COVID dip actually dropped it an even 27% lower price action than the previous bottom. You did not see this with Bitcoin, where, of course, even though we dipped low, we did not go back down below that $3,200 price. Ethereum, same thing. Yes, we dropped low and almost double bottomed, but we did not drop below and set a new bearish momentum. Cardano did. Why? Because this period of the cycle, Cardano is not the coin with a lot of momentum. Of course, I do want to remind you that Cardano would go on after bottoming out down here below 2 cents to rallying over, let's see what that exact number is, 16,800%. That is a whopping 169x from that bottom. Am I predicting that Cardano is going to do the same thing? No, that's not my prediction here. My prediction, though, is that similar to what we saw last cycle, and even this, let's just even look at where the rally really started. The rally for Cardano, it did get nice and explosive, but it really got explosive closer to February, whereas a lot of other altcoins were trading heavier in January. I'm not going to be surprised to see this exact thing happen again, where Cardano, again, did not get the pre-halving same momentum that other altcoins and Bitcoin got. It's going to be a late bloomer in the game of gains, and we're going to see a delay to Cardano's price action. We've actually even seen the evidence of this, and you can kind of see in this pre-halving run, we've seen this actually happen. The likes of Solana had their massive rally start all the way back in October. Same thing for AVAX, same thing for Matic, same thing for Link. They all had explosive rallies in October into November. Well, what about Cardano? What did Cardano look like? Well, we had an okay October. The real explosion where Cardano took the main stage and actually was one of the leaders wasn't until December. And if you go back and look at a lot of those coins, there was Solana still had a decent December, but Chainlink, for example, just traded sideways. Kaspa, another coin that's had a lot of momentum this year. I can go take a look at that one real quick. Another coin people are kind of complaining about right now, but ultimately, Kaspa, after an explosive year, really in November, December, slowed down and went bearish. Why is that? Well, Link, Solana, Bitcoin, these are all coins that are more favorable to the institutions. Now, a lot of retail investors took the ride, they took the profits, and guess where those profits went in December? They went into a decentralized crypto like Cardano. We saw this play out over the last 4 months. I am predicting in this bull market to see something similar happen. This is why I believe that we are going to see Cardano at least drop to number 10, if not number 11, for a period of time. Why? Because the institutional money will prop up the centralized cryptos, the centralized altcoins. They'll give them a lot of momentum, and then when the profit is ready to be taken, because there's a pause, it will move into the likes of Cardano. Cardano will skyrocket back up into the top 10. I believe potentially could reach even back up into the top 5 once again. However, there's going to be a process, there's going to be a time where every article and every opinion out there is going to tell you that Cardano is done. It's dead. It was a last cycle coin. We no longer need it. And that's just not the truth. There will always be a need for decentralization. There will always be a need for the likes of Cardano. And I still have high faith that we're talking about a coin that could potentially in the long-term future still be a top 5 to top 3 coin in the crypto world. But doesn't matter what I think when it comes to your money. What do you think? Are you still looking to prepare yourself for investing in Cardano? Do you still have faith in the ecosystem, or do you believe it is done? Let me know down in the comments below. Also, go ahead and smash that like button and hit subscribe if you enjoyed this video. But with that said, guys, that's all I have for you. Let me know what else you want to see some videos on. And with that said, you guys have a fantastic day.